this one kind of a funny individualism that you have got will never give you that collectivity that is expected of us. We all have to be one, being responsible for it. Not only for 1 or 2% because he's my friend, he's my husband, he's my wife, but for all of us. We have to be responsible for them, for their things, for their children, for their house, for everything. We have to be responsible. And if this sense of responsibility is lacking, how will you have responsibility for your self-realization? Only it can be a self-centered thing, thinking that I am very much better, my powers are better, I must have more powers. But if you do not have this sense of responsibility, why should God also give you powers? The main thing is your right side is completely. That is the Surya Nadi. That is the Nadi which is called as the Nadi by which people hold their prana. So it gives you the prana Shakti. If the prana Shakti within you, which is the vital force of energy within you, which is lacking. Now this lacking is added up by your heart. At least for a man like that, whose prana Shakti is exhausted, at least for such a man, if the heart is there, he can really use that power which is accumulating in the head and exhausting him, like eating up his brain. If he has the heart, now this is what I have told you last time, that the right side of human beings is very important when it comes to surgery. Because when the Kundalini rises, your right side is also big. Now the question is why Surge Yoga does not spread in England so far. It's a very good question many people have asked. Why in Australia it spreads so far? The reason is the right side is missing. The right side to be awakened, first of all there should be some right side. If there is no right side, what do you awaken? If there is no light at all, what are you going to awaken? There has to be a lamp to be awakened. So all these topics and talks that we have in the society, I know, and then we ask them in the I know. How are you? Like, all these access and all that, one should give up. One should know that you have to be responsible. That's a very, very important thing of life. I personally think unless and until you feel that responsibility, that heart into Surge Yoga, you will enjoy just by talk as you would enjoy anything else. Real enjoyment comes when your spirit really blows out. You are taking my vibrations for that. You are feeling that. Now what about yours? Are you blowing your vibrations out or they are just taking your brain? Simple question. Are you blowing any vibrations outside? We have some Surge Yogis. When they just enter into a house, immediately, everyone feels. Everyone can feel it that somebody has come. Immediately the whole thing cools down. You know somebody has come. There are some here also, not that there are some. But there are few. You have to blow out vibrations, otherwise you are just a liability to yourself. Why don't you blow out vibrations? Because you don't feel it. In your day-to-day life, morning till evening, you have to see that you develop this instrument of responsibility within you. Otherwise the vibrations won't flow. Because main reason is that our nervous system comes to us through our right side. Our nervous system is built up by our right side. All the elements within us have built up. If the elements are weakened, if the chakras which are made by these elements, as you know all these chakras are made by elements. If the pot is weak, nothing is going to work out. You should be able to hold that water of love, or you can say the water of bliss, and should be able to pour it out to others. Unless and until you are able to do that, Surge Yoga won't spread. It will spread very slow. This is the difference I feel between English and Australian. That the quality of mind is 1,000 times better than Australian. They are not scholars. I found very few people there who are even graduates. Here everybody is a PhD or maybe a MD. But they are all very well educated. Despite all that, Surge Yoga does not spread out. Why? The reason is the quality of mind is good, but the action is extremely poor because they are exhausted, tired, You are fighting in the mind. You are not doing anything by which you blow it out. The right side is what you call the Brahmadeva field. And the Brahma Shakti, as they call it. This is the power of Brahma, which is flowing through. We call it the power of the spirit. But the spirit, the power of the spirit, flows on your central nerve. If there is the electricity all stored up here and there are very weak wires, what can you do with all that stored up in it? The wires have to be improved, and for this wire, your right side has to be improved immensely. Every minute, you have to be responsible. And this is what is lacking. Then I find when some people are responsible, they feel extremely hurt. They feel that they should really shout and scream and should do something. They don't know that these are really the saints, they are realized fools, they are great people in heart. But their right side is weak. But that is not a great thing to accept. It's a very bad thing, but that doesn't mean you should feel guilty again. Because very nice, this is the way we manage, is to feel guilty. Because feeling guilty is the best way. I'm sorry, I should have done it. I know. Then how can you improve? If you have a pouch here filled up all the time with responsibility denied, all the junk you have created out of that, you are pushing it into that pouch. And then you say, yes, I know, I should not have done it. Now what can you do? As a mother, you can't say you hang yourself by the nearest tree. What do? And I just look at you from a basket. I said, really? I said, yes, I should have done that. For example, I tell somebody, you better cook for 10 days. And the person says, no, I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't. What do you do? You cannot hit him with the pan. Then what do you do? You cannot hit him with the pan. Then what do you do? That's how you are understanding. You really don't have to. The point is, in all this talking of spirit and God, one has to know the vehicle has to be better. The vehicle is so very poor that it cannot carry, otherwise you will emit vibrations. I know you can. Wherever you stand, you will attract it. People must gather around. You'll be amazed. I went to Australia for how many months? At the most a month or so. I came back from there. Already 7 centers have started and every center has got at least 300 regular people. It is not to feel guilty. I'm not there, but to awaken. You arise. To be elated with understanding that you have to rise up to that point and that you have to take up that position because you are the body yourself. You are the people who are sisters you have been for ages and you have no business to be irresponsible. You have to be. It is my earnest desire that you understand what I am. Just sitting, meditating, putting hands towards me or towards the photograph is not good. You are still receiving. You are still at the receiving end. You have to be on the giving end. How will you do? You get so many vibrations sometimes that you cannot feel after some time. It's so full. The picture is so much. But what about pouring it out? Why you cannot pour it out? The reason is that the vehicle within you, which is the right side, is the Pingala Nadi, is out of here. And this is what one has to do. That can be built up only when you know about Sri Rama's life, the way he went. Every minute of his life was like that. Not a single minute he wasted in life. Every minute, whether he was in the forest or he went to a place with his wife when he was in exile. And there his wife was a very shy lady, and she did not take her bath in the open. So there's a rock, it's completely tuned out. Such a big rock tuned out, can you know? Inside, there will be water tap sort of a thing coming out. There's a water coming out. So that there's stone here, stone there, and at the end of it, there's an open. So that there's light coming from this side and light coming from this side. But inside the room, nobody can see. There are trees which are called as shikakai, means that kind of a soap in between are trees inside. Anywhere you live, you see it as a new dimension, a new house, a new style of life. Of course, he was an incarnation in that. But he is your ideal, and not those people who sit out for hours together, drinking something and thinking they are great martyrs. I see all of them sitting near our church here, and one of them was asked by someone who was passing, what are we doing? We are killing ourselves. Very proudly saying that. I mean, I just don't understand what business have they got to kill themselves. How much time it has taken God to create them, and we are there sitting and proudly telling that we are killing ourselves. This is a situation in which I suddenly find myself. So I asked you, what should I do? How should I do? You have to feel responsible in every way of life. But you do not think that if there is anything wrong. If you are a hanky-panky person, if your feathers are falling everywhere, it's all right. To you it does not matter, but to the divine it does. That means a person cannot convey the message of God, cannot communicate the bliss of God, cannot pour that love. We have to become very responsible. In everyday life, I am not saying that is right, but in everyday life, how you live, what you do. Are you only worried about yourself or you are worried about others? Are you responsible for it? I mean, the modern style is not even to be good morning, is regarded bad manners. You see, it is bad manners even to open doors to someone is bad manners. Taking it Flemish. I mean, all manners and all those things, all responsibility seems to be Flemish. And this kind of modern ideas that are floating in the air, you should throw them out. You have to be human beings of a very great quality. There have to be people who have created new world. You are going to create, I know. You have to just rise up to that point and not to sink into your guilt and say, oh God, what we have been doing. No. Awake and arise. And get it what you have to do. That's what I feel about England. England is so great. And the heart. Look at the condition of the heart. Your heart is so big. There's no heart here. Alright, we love you. I love you. But what about you loving others? And loving others too. Loving doesn't mean writing love letters. Doing something about it. And that's what the doing something is and that. And that's what we have to build up over ourselves. Properly, into proper shape. If we have to really do the cooking, we have to know how to light the fire. And not to sit down and worry how to. It is a very great thing to come to England for one reason, that this is a place where Sanjiva is going. It is going to circulate in the whole world. I know through you. But if you do not improve the communication wire of yours, it is completely stagnant. And the responsibility of this stagnation will be on you, the Sahajogis of life. Because you did not put your life together, that's why you got it. It's a tremendous responsibility. Of course, to be responsible is wrong, for wrong, but not to be responsible for divine work. When God has blessed you with self-realization, is actually against God, against yourself, against others. The other personality which I was talking about is Sri Hanuman. Sri Hanuman is such a rich, powerful personality about whom I did not tell. That, I mean,